And then you can change how these things are manifested here in the reality that we all exist in. That makes sense.
What about all this energy, like a better word, that people are creating in terms of the negative energy?
What
the healthcare reform.
Yeah. What that
attacking
is.
Obama every which way.
Yeah. Now what that is misuse of the energy. The energy is available to everyone. Misuse of it just brings about those effects. But the reason why that's good is that all of those things, no different than from the whole Bush phenomenon, the Bush negativity has pushed people closer together to get into that alignment. You see? So the resistance to Obama is the same as how we supported and propped up Bush as a country. It's all creating an environment for us to move into position to be able to capture the energy properly.
But right now, when it's captured improperly, it's being exposed faster.
Yeah.
Because it shows what we describe it as how ignorant they're expressing themselves.
Yeah.
When in actuality, it's not so much any more of an ignorant expression now than it was during the Bush era. It's just that now you see it faster.
Yeah.
Like the Tea Party.
Look at that now. But that makes sense because look at this. If we're drawing it more, right? Then any ignorance is exposed quicker, which strengthens our ability to draw more.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Look at this. I'm gonna be real. Y'all know what? More people have come to truth because of them seeing the ignorance in their elders or parents or friends than anything else. So they say, you know what? All these years, I didn't know my mom was a racist like that. Until Obama came out, they're like, yo, I don't want to be nothing like that. You see what I'm saying? I know black people are like, man, I didn't know black people were so fearful. Fear black people didn't vote for Obama because they thought he was going to get shot. That's fear we have it seated in us. Now, some people saw that and said they recognized the time we were in to move closer to becoming this unit. And they moved their position in their lives to create an environment where things are more collective.
I can help you. There is a sign, a billboard in one church. On the billboard, there's a picture just like that. And it says, it's billboard from the National Republican Party. And it says, Obama lied and not racist. Now, when I first saw that, the reality of it is, what is racist? And I said, yes, she is a racist. Because racism is about diminishing an attempt to diminish the humanity of another human based on their race. And just because you are the same race doesn't mean you don't participate in it. So that in itself gave opportunity to bring voice to what racism actually is without racial boundaries.
Yeah.
So now that kind of energy can be redirected. Yeah. And if he had never exposed himself as an ignorant premise and said you lie, opportunity to deal with the whole question never would have presented itself.
Yeah. So y'all see that ignorance right now is our fuel. Ignorance is the fuel of us peoples.
Just think if we get a black governor or mayor.
Might see the destruction of
hey, I'm telling you.
the Civil War might succeed again. Did y'all notice what the people were called? They called them the Navi. In Hebrew, the word for prophets is the Na, and it can be spelled N-A-V-I or N-A-V-I. You see? So the people that everyone was trying to destroy were the messengers of deliverance.
But I'm not telling you. The Hebrew and the Aramaic of prophet is not one who necessarily speaks overtly. It's one who hears the voice of God internally. That's the true meaning of what a prophet is. One who hears the voice of God internally. So it's about whether or not you're going to destroy the prophet that you are by ignoring it.
That's enough. Any other thoughts or questions? Right now what I wanted to deal with, I don't know if I'm going to start with it, but do y'all remember when I was dealing with the Jacob thing and it says Peniel twice? You remember that?
Yeah.
That was something I wanted to deal with, but I think I may deal with that another time. And another thing that I wanted to deal with is the whole thing of when he turned to the angel that he was wrestling and he said, "What is your name?" Because I have another perspective on that as well. Okay. Because I'll go into it a little bit. One of the things that I looked at when he asked him what his name was is how he was using his expression to set a spiritual sail for himself to elevate. The question created a space to receive energy of identity from the Creator. And the thing that I want to go into is how when we're at particular events, the things that we express or the questions that we ask, it sets the dimensions and it sets the dimensions of what we can receive. Y'all see that? So when we go through an experience, because he was at a place where he wrestled the angel and he was injured, so to speak, right? Or vulnerable. The thing, when we get to a place of vulnerability in spiritual circumstance situations, what we express or the things that we ask for determines how much we can receive. So you can set a sail that's as big as me, or you can set a sail that's as big as this house. One is going to catch more wind than the other. So when he was asking that question, what I saw in that when he said, "Who are you?" he was positioning space within himself to be filled by the Creator. And it was the ultimate space that he could have set, because he could have said, "What am I going to get from this?" He could have said, "Where will I be tomorrow?" You know what I mean? But what had happened when he became receptive, he became a living dream catcher. So he was able to bring whatever the Creator brought to him based on his question into reality. Y'all see that? Because after that experience, he says, "I'm naming this place Peniel," you know what I mean? Because I have seen the face of God. Now I looked into the next chapter, in chapter 33, and he meets Esau, and he says, "Now I know it was as though I had," he said this of Esau. After meeting Esau, he said, "It was as though I have seen the face of God." Now Esau is his twin, or Esau represents the ego of him, right? He now saw God in the totality of all aspects of himself. So when he said that, when he asked the question, "Who am I?" and it said that you're Israel, or one who is a prince of God or a conqueror, now the way he viewed everything in life, or when he came and saw Esau, he saw the Creator as well. Hold on, go ahead.
So that's why religion is egotistic. It was the Edomite, the descendant of Esau, who Herod was. Herod was a Roman governor. Mm-hmm. So that's why Roman Catholicism is egotistic. Mm-hmm. It's a religion of ego. Yeah. Because of Esau. Yeah. So everything that came from the root of Esau deals with spiritual ego. Yeah. And everything that came from the root of Jacob, because of him recognizing this, deals with a controlling of the ego or breaking down of the ego, so that the spiritual can bring redemption to man.
Yeah. And when he saw God in what was his ego, he became completely free of that.
And the ego ventured off to do something.
Yes. Which means he gained power over himself. Right? And when you gain power over yourself, you gain power over everything else. Yeah, yeah.